Right, let's crack on with game 2. So SBMous versus Louos. This is Parasite. So again, Louos as our Zerg player. Up in the top left and down in the bottom right, playing as Protoss, we've got SBMous. So are we going to see anything different on this map, I wonder? If I'm Louos, I'm probably feeling pretty comfortable with the way I played. I'm probably thinking that seemed pretty reasonable. You know, I got some links into my opponent's base early, did get a good look around. Yeah, okay, a couple of workers went on, but really the look around was the more important thing. Saw exactly the composition that he had, saw the tech that was building. Now, with that said, you know, SBMous did get the observer into the Zerg base and saw that there was roaches, but didn't really respond to it. You know, when you see roaches, zealots are poor against roaches. You can kind of lay off the Z button. There is no need to have more than a handful of zealots if your opponent's building those roaches. So I guess what I would have liked to have seen as a response to that would be to chrono into the robotics facility and get at least one more immortal out, and ideally a couple more, and maybe stalkers or something like that, so that you've got more of a chance of shooting down those ranged roaches. Alternatively, zealot charge to make the zealots that you've got more effective, but in the end, none of the above is really what we saw. So this worker coming across the map to have a look at his opponent's base, and let's see what sort of information he gets. At present, you know, the worker is on the front door here just to scout for this and to see it off. He's going to have a little nibble at this worker. I'm not sure why I wouldn't let that kind of deter me if I'm the Protoss. It doesn't really matter. It's going to take that drone, you know, forever to nibble away at the shields on this probe. So in it goes, has a look around, sees that the pool is finished. Oh, did he notice the workers coming out of gas? Did he? I don't know. Because there were workers. Hang on, what is going on here? There were workers in the gas, and now there aren't. So I'm not quite sure. I'm sure I saw some workers mine in from that gas. I don't quite know what's happening. There's no speed in production. This pylon here is a deterrent. There's no forge at home, so the pylon is a dummy. It's a bluff. It's not going to get anything done. Yeah, I'm a little bit curious. Yeah, so workers in gas again. I don't know if that was just a mistake. Maybe he pulled the workers out of gas by accident. This probe is going to die here. As a little tip, if you do have a worker get trapped like that and you want to keep it for scouting, if you just right click on a mineral patch anywhere, it will run under the other worker, because if you look at workers as they mine, they can go through each other when they're mining, but only when they're mining. So you have to just right click on a mineral patch to sort of mineral walk your worker past things. And the same goes for, you know, if somebody's blocked a door with a worker, blocked a gap in their wall or whatever, you can get your worker past in that way. So tech-wise, what are we lining up for? Our Zerg player has a Benling nest in production. No Roach Warren yet, so it looks like it is going to be Ling Ben for the time being. No Lair in production either. So we're not going to be seeing Benling speed, or at least not for a good while. Reasonable number of Lings on the map that can wander about and be a little bit obnoxious, but nothing too serious. We've got these two stalkers and the zealot, and now two zealots. So, you know, so long as the zealots are in front and the stalkers are kept in such a position that the Lings can't get a surround on them, this little Protoss force can actually take on a substantial number of Zerglings. However, once the Benlings come out to play, that changes things substantially, because Benlings are pretty good against zealots. The Benlings will connect with those melee units, utterly strip their shields and make them squishy enough for the Lings to finish off. So this could be a scary attack coming from Louos. He is up in army supply, not substantially, but as I say, if these Benlings are out the front and manage to connect, this could be a problem. SBMous is, well, both players actually currently supply blocked. Neither can build any units effectively. So what's about to happen? Oh no, this stalker's going to go down for free. literally for free. The stalker goes to slow lings as well, and that is painful. Doesn't even get a ling for his trouble. Louos sensibly waiting for speed to finish up, which is absolutely the right decision. Now these banelings, a little bit of micro, you want to connect with the squishy, with the zealots to soften them up. Oh no, they don't. So the zealots aren't affected by the banelings, but this is enough speedlings to actually possibly get past here. These zealots are getting low, and the numbers are dwindling though pretty rapidly. Where are the rest of the lings? Wasn't quite enough, was it? So yeah, a couple of minor errors there. In terms of unit composition and the numbers that were on the map, there was enough to break that Protoss. Had the banelings connected with the zealots, then the lings could have finished the zealots off pretty quickly. Once the engagement started, I'd like to have seen at least half the lings just pulled out of the engagement and right click into the mineral line, just run past this stuff and go and do some damage. The loss of that overlord is annoying, but plenty of free supply, so doesn't actually supply block the Zerg player at all. Our Protoss player, however, having not lost any pylons, is supply blocked and isn't taking any chances. It's just gone ahead and dropped a whole raft of pylons. The forge coming down as well. We've got a void ray in production, so void rays are, you know, they're all right. They have reasonable uses. I don't know if he's going to send this onto the map to clean up overlords. It doesn't really look like there are many overlords to clean up, but we'll see what happens. So a substantial number of banelings now. The third is done. I'd really like to see the lair be researched here so that you can get speed for those banelings, because that does make them a whole lot more effective. This spore crawler could be an absolute win if the void ray comes in, because the spore crawler and queen combined will see off that void ray pretty handily. Yeah, so not too bad, not too bad. Things are shaping up nicely. Given that you've got a second base, really your mineral income should be higher than this, but neither of the bases are actually saturated. Look, we've got 12 out of 16, 11 out of 16. You know, you don't need, like this third hatch has come down, but actually you need to get saturated. Now, this is simply too many lings. This Oracle is going to help out a ton, but I don't think he's going to be able to save this Nexus. No, and in fact the Nexus goal was uncontested. The banelings are going to run in. They are going to connect this time, I'm sure, with something juicy. Oh my goodness, they do. The Oracle here is dropping a time bomb, but it's only going to trap one ling. Oh, actually, no, it's going to trap quite a few lings. And I guess that would have been handy a minute ago. Now these lings are trapped, but there's actually nothing really to kill them, is there? So the army supply in favour of Louos got in, did some damage with the lings, but again, I'd have liked to have seen a run by. You know, use the battle at the front to distract from the fact that you've snuck 6 lings into the worker line. Now, as it goes, this void ray at home, if it was there at the time, would have eventually cleaned the lings up, but you know, you'd still be doing some economic damage. However, with that said, the snipe on the Nexus is a wonderful thing. You are sitting pretty on 3 bases. You know that your opponent is on 1. Income wise, you're well ahead. It is essentially time to hold down a button, the Z button, whatever, and just outproduce your opponent. If you can get these workers in, you know, ignore the stalkers, kill as many workers as you can here. If you rid your opponent of probes, void ray production stops, and you can worry about the void rays at your leisure. So the income tab is quickly going to dive to an absolute misery. The time bomb goes off and these lings are trapped, but you know, the damage is done. A horrendous number of workers have died here. In come the roaches. Really, you're going to need something that shoots up. So the Hydras are in production at home, and they will deal with these void rays handily. We're not going to see very many more void rays being produced when SBMous has no income. So You know, I think you'd have to question what, just now that you see this nexus being built here, you'd have to question why he chose to expand over here, which was a little bit more vulnerable to the lings than just in the natural. I'm not really sure what the answer to that is. The Oracle is going to push out across the map. Oh, is it going to fly over the Hydras? No, that's disgusting, isn't it? Even had it come in, you know, with the Spore Crawler in the mineral line, the Oracle is only going to get stuff done with fairly intensive micro, and it, you know, it's only really, realistically, you're looking at picking off one, maybe two workers. The Queen and the Spore just, you know, Oracles die very quickly indeed to just pretty much anything that shoots up. So the Void Ray is going to go head to head with this Queen. The Hydras are going to come back and snipe it. It's got no shields left, so it's only going to take a bit of a tickle from the Hydras. And I think at this point, Louos just A clicks for the win. He just F2, A, click, and nothing else is going to matter really. The income is shot for the Protoss. He is mining. He's trying to rebuild, but you know, it's a sorry state of affairs, isn't it? The production tab shows a lone Void Ray, and while that's good, there's enough Hydras on this map to sort that out. At present, we've got 16 Hydras, and once they turn up, this game is just going to be over. So here they come. The Void Rays valiantly set forth to lock beams and incinerate or whatever, but it just isn't going to work for them, and they are going to go down, and I think we're going to see another GG pretty shortly here. So Louos looking very robust, very solid plays. Nice and reactive. You know, that is one of Zerg's great strengths, that they can play a reactive game, because tech switching is easy. You know, all of your tech comes from hatcheries, so it doesn't really cost that much to drop a roach warren. It doesn't cost that much to put a Hydra down, whether you use it or not. And then if you need to, you can simply hold down the edge button and crank out whatever unit is appropriate to what your opponent has built. So SBMous needs to go back to the drawing board if he is what? Unless proxy? Oh, what? Good. SBMous does need to go back to the drawing board and think of what he's going to do against this Zerg player, because in terms of just playing straight up, he is currently just being outplayed. These guys are turning up 1-1 with a reasonable composition and doing damage. So it is 2-0 to Louos.